apparently Pasky tells me we're live. So,
Hello guys.
So we're gonna start. I'm also going to pull out a macaw and commentate on a game I can't play for shit myself. So yeah, you're in for a treat. Although if you're expecting broken stuff, as with POW, it's not going to be as entertaining and broken. I also hear that people fucking hate this game and believe it's one of the harder old school beat 'em ups, and Scoop actually thinks that it's baby's first 1cc tier. So, definitely. So we're gonna be using the, or well, Scoop is going to be using the second player character, because he's actually better than the player one dude, because he has more powerful sweeps, more powerful jump attacks, and more range in general on his head. The only thing he actually suffers with is weapon damage. Also, I lied. So Alpha Denshi, who made this game in their infinite wisdom and programming and sprite powers, never actually bothered to create the other part of the fucking car that shows up at the very beginning of stage 1. So, yep, there's this. So, Scoop is gonna alternate between punch and kick, because if you hit a single enemy with 3 punches in a row or 3 kicks in a row, they're gonna get knocked down, and as we all know, knockdowns slow the game down by a lot. Also, when he picks up the bottle, he's gonna clobber dudes from range with the bottle, then kick them once, then reposition and repeat it. Also, these dudes that go in from the side of the screen like super fast, you want to sweep them and then finish them off. When the enemies start panting and grunting and are recovering their power and are obviously stunned, you can go for a finishing attack with one of your buttons, which is punch or kick, and you do this special finisher. So yeah, the car makes a reappearance, but nothing else will happen. Like, Scoop will clobber these dudes and spawn them one by one super slowly, because you actually want to pace yourself in this game, because you can't really control crowds pretty well when you're playing for efficiency. So here, you want to focus on one of the dudes that actually gets active, because in traditional beat 'em up fashion like the early ones, not all of the enemies on screen are aggro on ya, and one of them will remain passive. Fun fact, some bosses can become passive when there's 4 or even 3 or more enemies on screen, basically. So you want to use the weapon on the weapon wielding dudes. It's a concrete slab on a fucking metal pipe, I don't know, or a barbell, or half of it. So, okay, the loop on the boss. So this dude is the boss of stage 1, and you can loop him by going into his hitbox and then doing 2 quick punches and a kick from inside of his hitbox, and when he's wielding the hammer, he can't fucking hit you at all, because the hitbox on the hammer is way fucking shorter. Like, it doesn't reach short, it just reaches long. So Scoop will power up to maximum here, so he'll destroy dudes super fast. So we're off to a factory full of fucking dudes, like military gangs or whatever. Fun fact, you can fall down from the fucking platform here, from the catwalk, and I did that previously today. So Scoop will take his time, because he actually knows the spawns by heart at this point, and he knows what's coming up, what AI will the game throw at him, so he's prepared, as you can probably imagine. Also, I'm still not sure, but is the microphone on? Because if it's not on, I've been talking to myself for the past fucking 5 minutes or so. So yeah, Like, the funnest part about this game, I think, it's the presentation. Is that enemies will taunt you, back away, flex their muscles, encourage you to get over to them, stuff like that. No, you just walk into an empty space. There's no, you know, invisible pits in this one. Okay, thanks Dumple. And thanks everyone else. So, Scoop will try to play it safe and do the jump attack here, while he tries going for the moves that are active currently. Once he finishes the ones that are at the very top to him, he'll go and kill the weapon-wielding guys. So the flamethrower is super safe, but it doesn't deal a lot of damage. But it makes grabbing a assault rifle from a dude that's coming up really easy, because he gets one shot by the flamethrower, I mean. Also, the dudes that ride on the platforms will only fall down and become active once you're beneath them. So if you stand at the very top plane, they will never drop down, they will never engage you whatsoever. Also, you can't carry weapons through screen transitions, yeah. Okay, Scoop will scroll the screen here, and then he'll clobber the dudes one by one, spawn the boss, and then he'll probably kill the boss relatively quickly by abusing plane differences. Like, because if you're on the topmost plane, the boss can't reach you with his attacks ever, like when you're above him. Yeah, enemies designs are really fun. Okay. He should be fine, so the boss will now just die. Fun fact, boss AI changes completely if you knock their weapons away, and you can do that to this boss and the first one. And they become somewhat problematic from what I understand when you do that, because you're not really prepared, and as I said, AI changes. So he's gonna get 5 more skill points. You don't always get 5. Sometimes you actually get less, because you're graded on your punch, kick, or whatever attack accuracy. And 5 is the maximum amount you can get for the best grade. I know that Scoop actually tried getting 100% accuracy, but then the game decided to roll it back to 0 accuracy instead of 100 and gave him 0 points. So the dudes that wear vests that look like the logo from Makaimura are actually the most annoying and dangerous enemies in the game. But once you have the the assault rifle, they're easy peasy. So Scoop will basically plane shift here to where the dudes spawn and pick them off one by one. Okay, there's one more guy coming from behind. So there's friendly fire in this one, and all these assault rifle wielding dudes can actually hit the boss. Also, the boss, the tank boss, or mid boss I think, can't actually do shit to you. Like, he can't ram into you. Ever. So you can just stand there, unload into him, and he'll just explode and just push you a tiny bit when he gets close to you. So Scoop will actually lure these dudes over here, since they're pretty dangerous and they can block. Like, he found this strat earlier today, and it's pretty wicked because...
The most dangerous.
Yeah, so most dangerous dudes. So they will just fucking die, because they can't do shit when you manipulate them like that. Also, fun fact, so the way the collision boxes work in this game is kinda weird for a beat 'em up, because in most beat 'em ups, you can pass through enemies, especially in beat 'em ups in which you don't have any grabs. But in this one, you can't. Like, enemies can't pass through you, and you can't pass through enemies, and other enemies block other enemies from getting to you, so he's abusing that there as well. Also, these dudes will actually go on a defensive and back away, if you engage them, like super aggro and stuff. So Scoop is trying to trap them by the wall and the fucking on the way post, so that they can never back out. Okay, so he's gonna lure them out one by one because he wants to do a pretty cool strat on the boss. So there's like 2 more dudes. He's gonna lure them out here, and it should be easy peasy. More jump kick abuse, which is almost a staple in early beat 'em ups because you don't have many options at your disposal. Okay, so this boss should actually, you know, pick up this lamppost and actually try and wield this as a weapon, but Scoop found a way to trap him. And if you do it like that, he doesn't do shit. So there's that. Like, it's a hilarious loop to me because the AI just gets ultimately confused and can't do shit and can't even respond to anything you're doing. And sometimes he'll even just stand in place with his back turned away from you, but the only way to reach him is with the sweep, but it didn't happen now, as you can see. Okay, so maxed out guard, from what we both understand, maxed out guard means that you can take more punishment from enemies, and that's about it. Speed upgrade is a bit problematic, I'd say, because your jump attack starts reaching further and further, and enemies can't actually get to you at all. Like, you can't get to enemies sometimes because you miss the mark and just jump kick. Your hitbox moves past them way too quickly, and you just whiff. So yeah, some of the enemies basically run away from you once you deal enough damage. Okay, so nunchuck wielding guy is kinda fucking annoying. So Scoop is trying to actually play it safe. Like, the nunchuck as a weapon is actually decent, but the main issue is that it can fail and dudes will actually fucking pick it up and own it with you. You with it, I mean. English is hard. Yeah. So as I said, when there's 3 or more enemies on the screen, one of them won't ever be active. He won't approach you, he won't even attack you. I also know that Cool J is pretty familiar with the boxes here. You know what I'm talking about, dude. Also, yeah, you can't jump in this section at all. Like, your jump never reaches the top because that's the edge of the screen currently. And Scoop scrolls the screen with that spear weapon enemy over there so gently, because otherwise the dude will start roaming around and will own him. So yeah, more jump kicks because it's safe. Now he'll abuse on wake up attacks because the active frames on the spear are pretty fucking strong. I know you do. Scoop told me all about it, Cool J. Yeah, Scoops has been playing this game for an long time, and he loves it. So more on wake up abuse. As I said, active frames on the spear or the scythe are pretty obnoxious, to be honest. So he drops the weapon here because the enemies on this screen can pick it up and ruin your day. And also, that's a boss. And remember when I told you that even bosses can become inactive when there's 3 or more enemies on screen? It happens now. So the boss can become an actual pushover and never do any action. Also, enemies, like, friendly fire is always on, so the boss can clobber the other dudes at times and he'll just kill them outright because the claws he has deal obnoxious amounts of damage. So yeah, max out speed almost. Not like matters, because we're entering the final stage of the game. So, more trapping on the stairways. And as I said, the way the collision boxes work in this one, the previous enemy that is below you is blocking the other ones from approaching you, and he can't hit you from when he's below you on the plane, so you're relatively safe. Tigers are super fucking dangerous, but they get abused to hell and back if you know how to do this stuff. I'm also with Ghost Pilot. To me, that monk with the claws actually looks like a female. And fun fact about the final stage is that it's split into a couple sections, and after you finish each section, you get full health refills. So it's somewhat easy, although this section with the Sai or spear wielding guys is relatively dangerous because the range, active frames and the like. So Scoop is gonna play it safe because he's still on a Nomis run. And I'd like to see a Nomis run because he got like 3 earlier today. So this should be in the bag, and I just jinxed it probably. And yeah, the sound effects, which I unfortunately can't hear, are pretty amazing in this one. Especially the barking female enemies when they get hit. And Scoop tried to set up a trap on himself at the very end, but he didn't get hit. So he's gonna spawn 4 of these armored dudes. And we'll see how it goes, because it can get fucking finicky and you can lose like 2 lives in quick succession. Like, also earlier today I've seen one of these dudes just go bonkers on the other one. Ah, shit. And just kill him. Hey. We're good, fam, we're good. Also, gotta love like all these dudes just fucking roam around and have no clue what to do. And so safe strats, more safe strats, because we're almost at the very end of the game. And yeah, as I said, having maximum speed amount, like the stat upgraded, I mean, makes jump attacks kinda finicky because you travel way too far with your jumps. Okay, 1 more to go. And yeah, Scoop currently is playing on my T-Box fucking custom, cause the buttons on his stick kinda randomly stop responding, and we need to fix that shit, but we didn't have time today, so we're gonna see about that. It's gonna be A-OK and bueno on for the Punisher tomorrow though. Yay! Final section. So, if you were wondering who this fucking hat-wearing Freddy Krueger looking like motherfucker is, he's the final boss, but his sprite doesn't look anything like him. He looks like a buff Croc Hunter, to be honest, when he appears. So, he got our babe. He's backing out into the corner because there's a chopper incoming and it will pick him up. So, there's 2 female enemies. Hopefully, more barking will ensue. Then there's, I think, a reskin of the first boss. And this game has 2 endings actually. There's a good one and a bad one. In the good ending, you kill the guy, you rescue the girl, and everything is fine. In the bad ending, the helicopter comes, and the dude just does the beeline towards it and escapes. And we're gonna see which one. Yay, good ending. And you can run away from the babe. Constantly. Yeah, so that's Gang Wars. Good shit, dude.
It's the world record!
So yeah, that is probably gonna tell us to have the stream finished. So enjoy the ending. And I think during the ending you'll see the Babe, the final boss, represented in like a real life sprite work, and then there's gonna be fucking two most anime main character portraits you've ever fucking seen, which look totally out of place. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. Me and Scoop will be back tomorrow with the Punisher, and I'm also going to be playing Knights of the Round tomorrow as well. So hope you guys enjoyed, and that's about it.